And welcome back to the Awfully Irish podcast.
Well, how are we getting on, guys?
Not
Pretty
too
good.
bad.
So today we have ourselves a guest. How about you introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up? My name is Connor. I'm a photographer from Galway, and these wonderful gentlemen decided that they wanted to bring me on the podcast, and I'm super stoked to be here. I can't wait to talk to you guys. It's so great to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's ours, man. Yeah, I found you. I was just scrolling on Instagram and I said, okay, let's take a look. I had a couple of hashtags and I was like, okay, Irish YouTubers. Okay, that's kind of just makeup and stuff. But meh. Irish creators, and then I ended up finding you. And I was looking at like the content you do, and it's just creme de la creme. Thomas, can you pull that stuff up there?
Yeah.
Like, it's just quality stuff. I was super impressed by it. And I seen your YouTube, and I took a look at that. And well, here we are now, having a chat. So,
Yeah, I kind of paused there.
you know, it's just and loading.
Yeah, there we go.
Loading.
Yeah, man, you're.
I mean, like, look at those pictures
cool,
there.
man. They're fucking awesome. Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
is so weird seeing your own work up on somebody else's screen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really cool. So,
really-
you kind of do photography as your main thing, anyway.
Yeah, for the past few years, I've been mainly focused on photography and trying to work through, a few different styles. But like, I'm trying to keep my grid more consistent. But when you take a certain photo and you're trying to apply like presets that you've made already, and it kind of looks weird, I always find it difficult to try and keep that consistency throughout the entire grid of the whole gallery on my Instagram. That's why it can be quite changeable sometimes.
Yeah.
In the past 6 months, I've been pushing to start producing more content through YouTube, and it's a job in itself, but I love doing it. So, hopefully I can.
That's what got me interested.
Pardon?
Because you got this that's what got me interested. Because you got this huge skill set already, and then you want to apply it to something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have
Cool.
the background in the photography. It definitely helps a lot now that I want to get into more video, like the whole color grading, color correcting, and all that. But I'm so glad that you guys like it, because there is always this kind of uncertainty when you're posting something. If it does well, that's fantastic. If it's not so well, then you're kind of like, okay, why didn't this work? I want to know why people maybe didn't like it. It's always something that's playing in the back of my head, and that's something that I just try to work around. And seeing the stuff that I put up, I don't want to always put photos of myself up. Like with the top 3 of them there, like there's 2 of me and there's 1 with the van, and the other 2 seem to have been performing a little bit better all around. But it's just kind of the balance between the 2. As much as you'd like to always have good performing photos, I suppose it's very much dependent on your audience and what they want, what they like. You can't always be trying to please your audience. You also need to balance as well what you want to put up versus what people may preferably want to see.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do stuff like that sometimes. Like, what they want to see versus what you want to do can clash sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It works most of the time.
Yeah, it's all up to yourself, really, I find. You want to. I love doing it, obviously. Like, this is something that I am completely in for. It's something that I want to do for a very long time, I hope. But then, to be able to know which ones are going to perform better than other ones, you also still need to keep it in your mind that you want to post rather the stuff that you want to post, not just the stuff that you expect to do well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I do get you.
Yeah.
Thomas, keep scrolling down, I think, because you're doing a bit of Injustice there. He's got some incredible stuff.
I feel like in more recent months as well, like I've started to get more engagement on the post that I'm putting up. I think that has to do with the videos as well. You know, getting that interaction between myself and the audience, which is, I think it's really cool. And I love talking to people about the work that they're interested in versus what I'm doing, and, you know, different takes on the same topic or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
like, what was I going to say? One thing I noticed as well, very, very fast, is you look like an Irish Peter McKinnon. Do you know who that guy is? Yeah.
You know how many times
You
I actually get
look so much like that guy.
I think it's the patchy beard more so than anything. Just this
Yeah.
right here. But definitely Peter McKinnon is a huge influence on me. I find, like, I've watched so many of his videos right now, and I feel that he really did kickstart a lot of my style, even though I'm trying to keep away from, you know, basically copying what he's doing. I feel that his influence, amongst others as well, like there's Icelandic Explorer, there's Daniel Schiffer, there's all these sort of people who do really cool styles, and I'm trying to differentiate myself from them. But Peter McKinnon is definitely one that I have gotten a little too often, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember early on watching Casey Neistat, and he was like a blogger. He was great. And then he did a video with this guy, and I was like, whoa, he's pretty cool. His stuff looks like it's higher quality, and I started watching him as well. And then he did all these like little cam hack videos and like handy videos if you want to get into that stuff.
Yeah, he's a fantastic teacher, and that's one of the big things that I took away from his videos is he can present it in such a way that if a novice, like nobody who's never ever touched a camera before, go to his channel, they'll be able to learn so quickly, and there's such valuable skills that he's teaching on his channel as well, which is something that I'm hoping that I would be able to provide in my own videos, but it's kind of tricky as well. You know, I'm just starting out now, so it's kind of that developmental pathway that I really need to go down and focus on, and really see if I can get my own videos to the standard of like people like Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my work ethic did stem from Casey Neistat. Like, I love getting up early, getting stuff done in the morning, because I feel it helps me be more productive throughout the rest of the day. Now, I'm definitely not as extreme as Casey Neistat, because it is insane.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
Like, with the amount of stuff that he managed to accomplish in a short period of time, like, it's so cool. Sorry, go on.
He's talked in recent times about like how that work ethic affected like the rest of his life. Him and his wife nearly got divorced multiple times because of what he was doing. Like their time together meant that he had a camera in the hand and he's trying to get her to say something funny or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a very healthy dynamic, and it showed.
Yeah, living that lifestyle, it's tough enough, let's say, if you're a single person, but, you know, throwing a family into the whole equation, I'm very sure like that would definitely, it's a lot more difficult anyway, because as he says quite often, is he wants to spend more time with the family, but he also has his obligations that he feels he needs to do on a daily basis. Like, he could be flying one part of the country to the other side in a matter of 12 hours, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And trying to keep that up, as well as trying to like have spend more time with the family and, you know, rear his children and all that. You know, that's a crazy balancing act that I'm
he's on the plane, like doing the work up there.
Pardon?
Like even when he was on the plane, like he was still doing work up there. He took that as his time to work. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you have time for anything?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I missed that.
I said, how would you have time for anything?
Yeah, exactly. Like he would sleep 4 or 5 hours a night, get up, do a run, head straight into the office, or do something else that a lot of us would be like, oh yeah, I'll do it later. He just gets it done, and any time that he feels that he has free time, he'd always fill it with doing something, which something that I really admire myself.
Yeah. No, it's impressive stuff, but most of us can't do that.
No.
No, it's tough.
Most of us get till 2:30 to do a podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people. Well, particularly with you guys, there's quite a few people involved in that whole operation. So, trying to get everybody together at the same time, I can imagine it's quite tough. Because I know when I go out with a few guys and we want to shoot some video or some photos and stuff, trying to balance between those guys, between all of us doing what we need to do, it's also, it's tricky.
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, with this
yeah,
it's like
it's kind of
something-
handy. There's so many of us.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like if one person's away, the other two can pretty much handle it.
Yeah,
So it's like there are interruptions and then there are times that like we can't do the podcast. But like just knowing that the other lads are there doing it, it's it's a lot more comforting than
Yeah,
being
like-
"Oh, right, like
For-
that's
for
not
example-
like that podcast isn't up now. But it would be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Dara was gone recently, so me and Thomas did it.
Yeah.
And then I was gone this weekend, so two lads did it. And I won't be around later, so I'm here for this one, but I'm not here for the next one.
yeah.
So it still gets done. As long as it's one person and a guest, we're set.
Yeah, I suppose that's the other side of it as well. Like you guys can always keep up with it as well when you have the work delegated out, or somebody else can take somebody else's job, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about working together on like a singular project, where that can happen. Like if it needs to, still keep up with what you need to do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What was
mentioned
it?
earlier
One thing
with sorry, go on, Jude.
oh no, you go on. I've been talking lots.
I was gonna say you were talking earlier about Casey and his wife. What do you think of family channels? People give them a lot of shit,
I mean, like personally, I feel that family channels, it's wonderful that they can do something like that, but that opens a whole load of doors that I don't know if you'd want to expose your family to such a thing. Like the internet would be a pretty crazy space, and I don't watch many family channels myself. There's maybe a few videos here and there come up and I might watch them, but I don't know if I would be comfortable exposing my own kids, much like Casey actually. He doesn't want his kid's face being in his videos because he wants to protect them in a way. The thought behind it is nice. Like it's pretty, you could record all these memories that you've done with your family, but I'm not entirely sure the internet, for me, it's a little bit awkward in a way. There's two sides of the argument. Do you want to expose your family to whatever possibilities on the internet of people seeing your videos and then, I don't know, not just commenting bad things, but also, maybe there's a lot of stuff around it, I feel.
Yeah, when the kids is involved in that, and like the kids are not really aware of what's going on, it's just kind of really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that amount of exposure growing up, I can't imagine it would be too healthy for a kid when they start, getting older. They don't want that sort of lifestyle. I feel it's a little more tricky for them to make that choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to think about like if there's say there's a family channel and like child is like maybe 4 or 5, so like obviously their peers wouldn't be kind of looking at the internet just yet, but like say they get to like secondary school and then people start to like find these videos or like they resurface and then they get bullied over it, like
Yeah.
it could like
Who's your-
ruin their entire.
Who's your one who was a child YouTuber and she just happened to turn like 18, I think?
Jojo
talked about-
Siwa.
Jojo.
Yeah, Jojo
Yeah.
Siwa.
Like, there's a lot of controversy there because they were a YouTuber from like I've never watched them but like they were super super young getting into YouTube.
Mm.
You'd wonder.
Dance Moms.
Hmm?
She was on TV first.
She's
Yeah,
on
she
TV
was on
first.
Dance Moms, yeah, and then she started a YouTube channel off of that. I think she was 14 when she started it,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's kind of
just-
crazy.
Like, there's a lot of pressure as well, particularly if you're a kid star. Like if you're on TV already, you know, you have a general idea how it goes. But let's say the job of a YouTuber, it's not, you know, being a face in front of a camera type thing. You're also the editor. You're also the publicist. You're doing so many roles as well, which puts a lot of pressure on them as well. Which I can imagine, you know, being young and trying to figure out that it could be maybe frustrating in a way.
Yeah. You know, realistically, it's great skills to pick up on, like, but putting YouTube on the old CV probably doesn't go very well.
yeah, probably not.
Work experience, YouTube for 5 years.
Well, I mean, the translatable skills that you could get from YouTube, like editing and all that, I suppose,
Yeah.
you know, if you apply them, let's say you want to do some more professional Photoshop or so. Now, a thumbnail is a very small part of a video, but it has such a huge impact at the same time. You know, if you were very skilled in Photoshop and you could, you know, make them clickable.
Yeah, no.
If you put that much effort into your thumbnails, then you know that's gonna mean that you're quite well skilled in it.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Like, you could have the best video ever, but like, there's just a white screen as your thumbnail. No one's gonna click on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very true. You have to have kind of like a clickbaity kind of.
Yeah,
Approach to it.
hate saying clickbait, but
Yeah,
realistically,
but like it's pretty true. Like that's like we don't really go based on thumbnails. Like we'll say something weird during like a tangent, and then we'll make that the title of the video.
Yeah.
Like so.
I mean, you're not really. That's not. I don't feel that that's really clickbait in a way.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
it actually happens in the video. A lot of YouTubers these days, you know, to make it more interesting, to make it more clickable, they're going to extract that from the story, and then put that as the title. I feel like I'm perfectly okay with that. It's just if you have some crazy, obnoxious title that says you did something and then, you know, it didn't even happen in the video. Now that's something completely different, I feel.
that's,
Do you know who
It's
does that a
stupid.
lot as well? It's online news agents, like,
Yeah.
just say, for example, I know the Star, and it gets shit on a lot, but because it's shit. But well, but they use these really shitty, like, clickbaity news titles that just aren't true at all. I'm trying to think of one. A lot of them were Meghan Markle related. They just didn't like her for some reason, did they?
Yeah. I
No,
know.
she got a lot of
you
shit.
see a lot of that. You know,
Yeah.
you see the title and then you only read the headline, and then you read the article. It's completely unrelated.
Yeah, and I feel that this whole traditional media, like they get paid obviously for the amount of clicks that they get on these websites.
Yeah.
But I feel that they're sacrificing their own integrity to be able to get those clicks, and they're going to be much less believable, and people are going to be less inclined to go back and read what they're writing about in future, just because, you know, I think they're overusing it. If you know what I mean?
It's very relevant at the moment with the COVID cases. I've seen one, and my mom wanted to read the headline, and I said, okay, let's read the whole story. And it was like a 17-year-old that died of COVID. And she was like, Jesus, like young people are affected as well. Like, well, they are, like, obviously. But I felt like there was more to it. So we clicked into it, and your man he was like 300 pounds. He had pre-existing conditions, like, that were respiratory related. You know, it wasn't just like a bulky bodybuilder type 17-year-old who got it. It was a guy who wasn't too healthy in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have pre-existing like illnesses, like it's still really tough. Like myself, I have asthma, so, you know, going
Same
outside
here.
those first few months, I just didn't. I literally just stayed inside the entire time. Now I give myself a little more freedom. I always wear a mask when I'm outside, and you know, just taking those precautions what, like, if you look at America right now, they're saying that they're taking away their freedom because they have to wear a mask.
How stupid is that?
And I think that people are just misinformed, or like, they don't really read into it. There was a doctor that I saw, he put a video up online, and he was monitoring the oxygen in his blood, because a lot of people say that, you're rebreathing your exhale, your the CO2 and all that, and it's doing damage to your body. He literally had masks, and the monitor didn't even make a blip.
There's a video there. There's a lad who's after doing. He ran 1K wearing 10 masks,
I saw that, yeah.
but he smoked beforehand to prove that it didn't suffocate people. Like,
Jeez. Well,
that's
I mean,
dedication.
yeah, sometimes you need these extreme examples as well, though. I feel, to really, get that point across, because people, they don't feel that they're being informed what they need.
Yeah. But
That whole translation of the information, if you overdo it, sometimes that's enough to convince people that wearing something like a mask is something good. It's going to help you. It's beneficial.
yeah.
You're basically trying to change somebody's mind.
What a world we live in. So that was the first tangent, definitely. What was I had questions for you like 10 minutes ago. I wanted to ask you about the gear you use, the lenses and the camera.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know, or like just basically what I use in general?
Well, do you only use one camera, or do you have different cameras going around?
Generally, I just stick to my Canon EOS R. I'm an avid Canon user.
Same here.
I feel like that the whole the color profile and the color science and all that, like it's wonderful. Even though sometimes they tend to knock back on the specs and all that, but I still feel that it performs really well. So the EOS R is my primary shooter. So that's what I have, and I always bring the 24 to 105 with me. I just love the range with the 24 to 105, because you can get those really nice portrait shots in, let's say, 85 millimeters. Then you can get much more wide when you want to go down to the 24 millimeters. And
I feel like you get nearly everything.
Sorry?
I feel like you could get nearly everything with that one lens.
Yeah. A lot of people, they look to investing more in a lot of prime lenses, but I feel like if you have a set range that you're going to be working in regularly, like having a telephoto like that is perfect. I have a kit lens that I got with my Canon 750D, and sometimes I put that on, but the thing is that is a crop lens, so that's not going to allow me to use the full sensor on the EOS R. But definitely, this is something that I've been doing for a while. Is just trying to find ways that I can still use this one lens and apply it to many different aspects. Like it could be portraiture, it could be landscape, whatever. It's my favorite lens anyway.
Yeah. Do you have any experience using vintage lenses?
I do not. No.
No.
And it's definitely
That's
something
surprising.
I haven't touched yet. No.
Because I'm just asking because last week I had 2 lenses. Now I have 4, and it's because I found my dad's old ones, and then I bought a really I have the Industar 52.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It's an M42 mount lens. It's like just so small. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And then what's it? I have a kit lens. I have an old Vivitar lens. It's 200 millimeter. It's pretty damn crazy zoom. And
That's
then
nice.
your one is a 28 to 90 millimeter. One of the early autofocus lenses that Canon made.
Jesus.
Okay.
Cool enough.
That's pretty interesting. 28 to 90.
Yeah.
That's, for me, I feel like that's such a strange range to put it in.
It was for an old film camera. Like as in like film photography kind of thing.
Yeah. I suppose the diversity of
Cool
that
stuff.
probably why they put it in as well. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cameras are cool stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I could talk a lot about cameras, but I don't know how interesting that would be for you guys.
Yeah. Myself and Thomas are doing either media studies or film next year in college, so it's gonna be an experience. So you have to learn
Thomas,
a
you'd
fair
want to
bit
learn
about
how to
cameras.
work a camera.
I know how to
Yes,
work a
you want to get
camera.
one
I
too.
can take the pictures.
But are you guys doing
You
that
take
in
pictures.
Office or
No, we're doing that Maynooth.
in Maynooth?
Maynooth.
Yeah.
So that's
Looking
an
good one.
interesting
Very
one.
nice.
Do you need to go get a call, Dara?
Good man, Dara.
Good
Good
man.
man, Dara.
Man of the house, good luck yourself. He's probably answering the Chinese. They know him that well. Like, why haven't
Yeah.
you ordered today? It's 2:00 in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, he's some man for getting his Chinese food. Getting his spice bag every day.
You a fan of the Chinese food, or you're more a chipper man yourself?
Fish and chip job.
I actually don't get takeaway.
You know.
Fair play.
No,
Fair enough.
I am I'm an avid cooker. I love cooking from home, so usually I make everything here. Now,
Nice.
obviously, when you've had a few drinks or so and you go out, whatever it may be, it's pretty easy just to walk down and say, I want everything right now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we're big cookers on this show ourselves. I'm making fajitas today.
Fair play.
In a
I
while.
like
It's been a
making
while since I had those.
I like making fajitas. They're pretty cool to make.
Yeah.
I actually made a
I
video
wouldn't-
the last week. It's the first cooking video that I'm thinking of putting up on my YouTube channel, because it's kind of going to be about cooking, about what I'm making, plus taking photos of it in the end. So we made a quiche, and it was delicious. It didn't last very long, but we got
I
the show.
hate making quiches, man. I'm no good at blind bacon. I just can't do it.
I'd love to see that in the style of like binging with Babish. That'd be a really cool video to see.
In what?
He's good.
Have
You
you
ever
heard
watched that guy
Babish?
binging with Babish?
Benjamin.
Oh, he's awesome. He does really cool videos.
We can't even show a clip.
He does these videos where he cooks all these kind of foods that are in TV shows and films. So like,
Movies, TV.
he's a really cool
Yeah.
dude.
He's-
He makes a
he's
really
brilliant.
lot of nice stuff.
It's very, very unique video style when it comes to cooking. It's probably why he's so big.
Apologies for the interruption, lads.
The Chinese,
Fair
yeah.
play.
Man, fuck off. Why you just... It's just because I'm fat, like, come on, fuck off. I don't know.
I mean, that's definitely have to look it up, like, because I'd love to, get some inspiration from people who actually know what they're doing in this area. Like, as much as I love to cook and take photos of food, being able to portray that in a video that make it in a way that's interesting, that's something that I definitely still need to work on.
Yeah.
People who do it really well. Do you watch Tasty on YouTube?
Oh, would you stop?
They make nice food. They make all the nice brownies and the cookies, and they're fairly good cookers. I'll give them to them. They're
Everything is just so well put together on that channel. Like every
Yeah.
video that I make is just so well represented. It's pretty crazy. I mean,
It's
like
mad.
obviously professionals at this, they know exactly what they're doing. But
Yeah.
like when you're trying to start off, I try to use that as a bit of a motivator as well to try and get the same standard. Because if you could get something even half as good as that, I feel that you'd be doing really well.
Definitely a fan of Just Do It, because obviously this is no Joe Rogan setup, or it's not the two Johnnies. It's just the three of us on Skype,
Yeah.
and then get a guest. Like it's going great.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's that's perfect. If you're doing like a podcast where the viewers can see it on YouTube, I don't think that you need something necessarily over the top.
Yeah.
It's a lot about like the content that you're producing. I feel like you can have the quality. I believe that it's more so on the people that are in the video and what they're doing. People are going to be interested in who's there. and they want to listen to what you guys want to say, and whatever guest that you may have on.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. It's kind of like that intimacy of like joining in on the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what sells podcasts to people. They want to feel like they're part of the conversation,
Yeah, it brings you in.
and they are like
and-
the comment
yeah,
section is
of
great
course.
for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good fun.
It gives them someone to talk to. Very
yeah,
much.
exactly. And you're always meeting new people, and you're always getting new perspectives and everything. Like, there's a lot of people that may tune into your video for one thing, and then
That's exactly it. Yeah.
it goes on such a tangent that they figure out something else.
But we love the tangents. They're great fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of our
like
best
the ones we've
conversations
done
have
already.
been tangents, like, honestly.
Yeah, we talked about how Americans don't like butter their sandwiches. They use
Yeah, we
told
told them that one before the
Yeah,
podcast.
that one's just weird.
Yeah, that one is just weird.
After saying that there now, my girlfriend's looking at me like I have 10 heads.
Mayo doesn't go everything.
Yeah, mayo does not go with everything. It sucks. Well, sometimes it's good.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Talking about
Yeah.
mayo program.
I live with a guy and he has an obsession with mayo, so I know.
Oh god. You poor
We
man.
interviewed these competitive eaters, and they're
Oh, they're
friends.
great.
They're friends with the woman who has like the world record of eating mayo in under like jars of mayo in under a couple of minutes. I think it was 13 jars in maybe
5
10.
minutes.
I think so,
Actually,
something like that.
You can do that.
Picture of it is pure rotten though, like oh my god.
Like, a little bit of mayo is alright, but you're eating
Well,
that
like,
much.
it's like a giant dinner spoonful of mayo.
Like,
I would not.
you grew up wanting to be an astronaut, and then you find yourself eating 13 jars of mayonnaise. Like,
Then you question, where did it go wrong?
Or where'd it go right?
yeah, I mean, which one pays the most?
Yeah.
I would presume being an astronaut pays more than eating fucking mayonnaise for a living.
I mean,
You
yeah.
ever talk to someone who eats mayonnaise for a living, Thomas? So you're not an
You know what?
expert.
I don't.
Shut up, Thomas. There's any
Gotta hear
possibility.
both sides of the story. What the hell are we talking about?
See?
Oh, sorry, lads.
You were talking about your equipment, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you talked about your equipment.
Oh, yeah.
You had a post there before saying you wanted to try vlogging out a little bit. Do you have any more plans on that, or what's the crack there?
Yeah, definitely. Well, given that the whole COVID thing is going on, like, it is a little tricky to be able to do that in the city. That's more so on the convenience side, but there are a lot of more things that I would love to go out and do. Let's say if I want to go to the mountains, or if I'm doing something interesting by the coast, it's definitely something that I would love to get into more and be able to, bring people along into that and make a story out of it. But I find even yesterday when we were up in the mountains, I had the intention of vlogging, but unless you go there for the sole purpose of shooting, I find it's really difficult. We were with a group of guys, and they were all, I think they'd be a little bit weird around the camera. They wouldn't be comfortable with it. So there's also the time and place. If you go there to with the whole intention of making a video, then that's great. I'll definitely get it done 100%. But then when you have the variables in there where, you're not too sure, I wouldn't want to make people feel uncomfortable if I was there with the camera. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. We've never done a vlog. We've tried to do skits before. One problem was we went in with the intention of thinking it was going to be like a cinematic masterpiece. And second, I got home and I got all the footage together, and I said, lads, I can't do anything with this. I can't even make a bloopers out of this.
That's the tricky thing
we're
as well.
rescheduling on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is upsetting because, I went neck deep in a bog for that.
Yeah, you went into the bog water and emerged like a beast. It's kind of like a Hardy Books inspired video, but
Yeah.
Nah, but it's okay because we got a Chinese after.
yeah, we didn't get Chinese after, so that was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever watched the Hardy Books? We had those guys on.
Really? That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I can remember back, Jesus, God knows how long ago, I was at one of the teenage discos, and they were up on the stage running their mouths. It was fun. Like I haven't heard those guys in so long. Like I don't know what they're doing.
They still do stand up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to a show after COVID. See how they're
Nice.
getting on.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time watching all their videos. Like I wouldn't have been, tuning into everything that they did. But
Yeah.
they were definitely they did have an influence on a lot of us when we were younger. I mean, like the whole teenagers, they became such a massive thing. Like, do you remember Jedward as well?
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Jedward
those
put
lads
out
are
a
great.
tweet
Jedward
yesterday.
Jedward was for girls what the Hardy books were for lads.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Completely
I don't
different
even,
cultures and areas.
not
but-
even translates.
Did you see Jedward's tweet yesterday? They were like belittling people who were like like breaking COVID rules. Brilliant. Where is it? To everyone
They were
staying
just-
home,
they were just
you're not
giving out,
practicing an Ibiza, you're a hero saving lives and not trying to be so-called influencers. And then people were like saying, oh, these influencers coming back and getting, bet up by Jedward.
I'd like to see those two lads in an MMA fight. Give me a year to
Against each other.
prepare. Because
against each
they're
other.
twins. They're twins. Like, they're the exact same. They're on an even pedestal. And if you give me a year to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time that I saw.
Can I take that part out of the video? Yeah, no, I don't want Jedward to actually fight. That was a joke.
Did they actually
I
go back
mean,
and do the leaving
it'd
cert?
be interesting.
Did they what?
Did they go back and do their leaving cert?
I have no idea if they did that.
We didn't do a Lincoln search. That was great.
Best days of my life.
Oh, same man, yeah.
We just got away with it because of COVID.
Wish I could fucking do it again, honest to God. Now.
Oh yeah. Like after that, I was originally planning that I wanted to go and become a doctor, but then eventually I just decided that I was going to stick to science because that was something that I was very passionate about, and I feel that being a doctor is like so tough, both physically and mentally these days. It's something that trying to upkeep with even the demand now these days with COVID and everything. Like it's just insane.
Yeah. Well, what science did you go into?
Chemistry.
Oh God,
So,
man.
cool.
Oh, you poor man. Oh God, how did you fucking cope? I could barely stay awake during leaving cert chemistry. It must have been like
Yeah.
a fucking sloth.
That's rough. That is rough. Dara here wants to go into marine biology, so he wants to be a wee bit of a scientist.
In GMIT, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
particularly with being on the coast with Galway, like they have the Marine Institute out in Ormore.
Yeah.
Which is, if there's anywhere local that you'd like to study, like that's definitely a really good opportunity to go there.
Yeah.
We need more people in the sciences at the moment because one thing we're not realizing is the effect we're having on the world. The world was doing much better when we were all locked down, so that says enough there. Like we've talked about conservation on this before. It's a big deal. Like we're causing an extinction event. Like all the megafauna that's been around with us has died. There's different niches in environments that have been just wiped out because of us.
Yeah.
And you hear the numbers like 200 species gone extinct this month, just from us. Like
Yeah.
Dicks.
I
Yeah,
mean,
with-
like,
with
everybody,
dicks. Like we take turf out of the bog. Turf is it's like mud full of carbon, so we burn it. The ecology there is just destroyed after what we did.
and everybody's so fixated on going to Mars and like getting to Mars and like all of this interstellar travel, whereas like
Could we do
the Earth
both?
itself is, huh?
I said, could we do both?
Well,
Save this planet, go to another.
yeah, this whole extravagant idea of everybody moving to Mars or so, like it is so interesting and so captivating. I can understand why people are so into it and interested in it, but at the same time, you need to do a lot more work at home before you can really focus on this whole like multi-planet habitation. Basically living up to
Habitation.
the world, yeah.
Yeah, I did a project back in second year about terraforming Mars, and a lot of it was like what Elon Musk said about it at the time, like just nuke it. Actually, that's genuine. That's like a good idea. You get all the nukes in the world, send them there. Like, you save this planet and you get onto another. Like, that'd be one of the fastest ways of colonizing that planet, nuking the poles. Obviously, we could never live on the poles after that.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
for a couple
different.
million years.
You could mine like sulfur and different chemicals on it and make an atmosphere of some kind. Like one I talked about was sulfur hexafluoride based atmosphere. So your voice will be super deep, but it's like an extreme greenhouse gas.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wouldn't have to get all that much carbon dioxide. Plus we get the bad stuff out of the soil.
Mm.
So yeah.
Gerald's a Mars nerd.
I'm a Mars nerd. I'm a nerd for a lot of things, especially biology. We had a guy on, Jack Horner. He wants to bring back dinosaurs. He's about a year away from doing it. Only thing he can't do is give him tails.
That's a shame.
Yeah, he can
You ever
use
seen,
genes that exist in chickens to turn them back to like what their ancestor would look like.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Jurassic Park, they actually based Alan Grant off him.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So
He's
I don't know. Did Michael Crichton know about Jack Horner when he was writing the book, or did he just do it for the movie?
No, he based Alan Grant off him while writing the book.
That's crazy. And we got to talk to this guy. He's great.
He was awesome.
We talked some crazy cats.
We talked to you,
Yeah, we talked to this guy. Look at him.
Yeah, exactly.
crazy cat.
Photographer.
Yeah, man.
A sound lad. Hold on here now.
So,
Have a question.
I was gonna ask you a question.
Go on, Dara. Ask your question.
Go on,
Ask away,
Dara.
buddy.
Would you go on?
So
Ask
what would
away.
what would you say to someone who wants to like start photography or become a photographer?
Well, I feel like if you want to do it as a hobby, of course, maybe you're not going to want to invest in a whole lot of equipment and such. Like, a lot of it, I feel, is a lot about the passion. Like, you really need to want to do it. Like, if you want to make a business out of it, if you want to do it for like YouTube or whatever, you really need to want to. Because I feel that there's nobody's really going to hold your hand when you're pursuing this entire area. There's a lot of things that you can figure out, but like I've watched countless videos. I have gone out and shot so many times. There's a lot of work behind it, but I would definitely never discourage anybody from going out and pursuing it, because it's so much fun. And if everybody, I lost my train of thought, sorry.
You said it's so fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and like particularly when you meet people like-minded to yourself and you're both interested in, like, let's say photography, video, and you want to do something together. I suppose it's in any area that you want to pursue. If you want to do it, go for it 100%.
Yeah.
But just know that you have to really want to do it.
Yeah.
No, remember,
And,
don't fuck with Connor Jones. Don't you steal his ideas.
He's
Don't even
top
look at
dog
his page.
Don't take the same photos.
But like, I mean,
here.
if you want to draw inspiration from anybody, like I find that I've gotten a few messages before that people have messaged me and said like, oh, you motivated me to make a video or, to go out and start shooting more. And I think that's insane. Like with my own work, I didn't expect that I could have that effect in a way, but I feel my whole process of like, looking at other people who are doing it and, trying to extract some inspiration from that, I feel, it's strange when it's the other way around, when somebody's taking from your work.
Yeah.
Pretty cool feeling. That must feel like super, inspirational and just kind of gives you a lot of motivation to keep doing what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sure you
That's a
guys
huge
get it
part
as
of
well.
it.
Like with your podcast and you're doing it so regularly. I'm pretty
You do
sure
it
people
every
you're
day.
influencing people. Yeah.
Every day and twice today. Twice for the next 3 days, I think.
Oof.
We are busy bees. We're busy bees.
Exactly. Like I need to get back on my game of making more videos. I have some that I need to edit, but you know.
I don't know,
I mean,
yeah,
what do you got coming up? Gonna give us any hints or?
Well, I have the cooking video, and like obviously there's some more vlogs that I would like to try out. I definitely want to invest in a drone and make a small review of that.
That'll be nice.
I can get, yeah, like Galway from an aerial view is just crazy. It looks so good, and there's a lot of angles that maybe you may not get around Galway or even Ireland in particular. So I'd love to travel around to specific places and provide some video that I'd be able to like showcase. Yeah.
Someone's mic there, Thomas, I think.
Thomas.
Is it still going?
No, it's done.
No, it's done.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Go is a beautiful place. My girlfriend normally goes down there at least once a year. We were supposed to go down after leaving cert, only COVID stopped us. So next trip I have is somewhere going to be in Galway. It'll be somewhere in Galway.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a shout and find
Yeah.
out about some good spots.
We can go out. We could take some shots. Maybe make some videos.
That sounds awesome, man.
And I'm going to be in college there.
I mean, I'm always down to go out shooting either way. Like some people message me and like they say, "Hey, do you want to go out shooting?" Of course, like always. I'm always down.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get a bit more experience in that stuff now. I'd love to bring down my camera now, but it's put away upstairs. I have it decked out to the gills, so I do.
You send it on a picture later on, though.
Big cage on it. Got the ND filter on.
Nice.
I felt like a boss when I got the ND filter. I was just like, it was a variable one as well, so I just kind of like, now you see me, twist, now you don't.
Yeah.
He showed it to us as well. He was just like, look at this. Look how cool this
It's
is.
so
And we're like,
impressive.
Yeah.
And
That's definitely one thing with gear. It can be kind of expensive as well.
yeah,
If you're looking to get into photography, just know that you're going to have to make a good investment in it. Like if you want to take it seriously, of course, in the beginning, definitely don't spend a ridiculous amount of money on a camera just because you think you're going to get better photos. That's definitely not the case. I mean, I still use my Canon 750D for my shoots if I'm doing something for Instagram or whatever, and you still can get really good photos with a lower end camera. It's more so on how you approach the situation and your understanding and how you work around that.
I love seeing like professional photographers and professional filmmakers try to do something with like a budget of under 100. And you see, they have to get like these tiny little cameras, and they have to use all these weird contraptions to try to get it stable. So it's really cool.
Oh yeah, Potato Jet did a video on that. He was really good.
Yeah, I see that as well. The sunglasses as the filter.
Yeah. It was the Canon. It was the point and shoot, wasn't it?
It was like it was a point and shoot. And then he had to get like the flower pot and you put bricks in it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, I mean, you have to be imaginative. Like, I think a lot of the more expensive equipment is, I suppose it's easier to use. You don't necessarily have to be super imaginative to get the exact shot that you want.
Realistically, you want to be able to make mistakes and not suffer because you did.
Yeah, exactly. You have to.
Who has a boat outside their house right now?
That would be me.
What is it?
It's just some guy with a gun. Don't worry about it.
Lovely.
I think it's my dad. He's mowing the lawn.
Oh gosh.
If it helps, I can go on mute. I don't do much talking. I just do the typing.
Yeah. Okay. Thomas has muted himself. He'll unmute himself when he wants to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying there a second ago? We were talking about Potato Jet in his video. If you get creative.
Yeah, well, I feel that when we were talking about the whole mistake, like a lot of people feel that it's wrong to make a mistake. And I find so much value in making mistakes. I think it's necessary, but also so useful. You need to make the mistakes to be able to learn, to get better. And a lot of
Yeah,
people
it's
look
part
at
of
it
the process.
negatively. Yeah, exactly. But
Like
I
we did an
definitely,
entire day shoot and we had to scrap it all.
yeah. Well, that's just it. Like it does happen, and I feel that it's a bit of a pain. Yeah, of course. But at the same time, you know, if you can learn from something, that's invaluable. You're never going to make that mistake again once you know it.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can do it again, but better. And yeah, it's nicer when people who are professionals like yourself talk about these things, because it's not like you went over to like a pot of coffee for a nice picture. You got it first time. You probably took a couple pictures and then had to edit as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you never get it first time. Like if you do, please tell me how you do it because I would love to be able to shoot that well. But there's never a time that you take one shot and it's boom banger, no problem. Just throw on a preset, put it up on Instagram. Like when I'm editing photos, I take them individually before I even really consider looking at any of the presets I've made. I feel that if I could bring out the characteristics in the photo to begin with, see where I want to go with it, I think that's more valuable for you learning. You know, so with the whole situational awareness and the settings and everything that you have, you're going to learn a hell of a lot more making your own presets rather than buying them online or so. If you know what I mean.
Mm.
I don't mean to step on anybody's toes who are selling presets or anything, but I feel like if you can make your own and you can basically do.
Yeah. I like what Thomas is doing there. He's awesome photographers there, and it's right beside your head.
Oh, okay.
I respect that. I respect that. I'm sure he said something mean for me.
Yeah, he said people I hate.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, sound. What was I going to say? When did you first start seeing Potato Jet? First time I seen him, he bought the cheapest RE camera on the internet. That was the first
Oh,
video I
yeah.
ever seen from him.
I remember that one. Jeez, I've been watching him for a while now. Uh, I don't think I can remember the first video that I saw by him. It was probably him. It was him in his old apartment. Now he moved twice since then. He's in his newest place now. There's a house that he had before then, and then when he was originally in his apartment, I think that's when I first saw his videos. That's quite a
Hmm.
while back.
Yeah,
But he's
he's a cool guy.
he's a beast as well at making videos. Jesus, he put in 14
Yeah,
hours, no problem.
and then post it same day.
Yeah,
Legend.
like it's crazy. Like his workflow for making videos can be compared to how Casey Neistat was producing his. Like he worked so much, and the
But
amount of information he packs into his videos is crazy.
unlike Casey Neistat, he actually works on film sets as well. Like
Yeah,
there's there's a difference between like being like an independent filmmaker and then actually working on sets as well. He does
yeah,
both, but he also talks a lot about the difference between being a filmmaker, which means like you're doing all the stuff, versus like doing a specific role on a film set.
yeah. He has experience in all aspects of video. You know, I definitely feel that he has a really big spot that he's been able to fill on YouTube. And a lot of filmmakers,
Definitely.
when they want to get into it, like he does so much work, he produces so much, and it's good. Well, it's not just good; it's great. Like, the amount of info you can learn from him is
Have you?
equal to anybody. I think.
Yeah. No, he's definitely a brilliant guy. Have you seen the Ari Trinity knockoffs yet? People using their Steadicams and their gimbal.
Are you? Is that the Oh yeah, you get the Steadicam, you put it in. Who did? I remember a video specifically on that where they attached their DJI their gimbal onto the Steadicam and then just start like jousting around the place
Yeah.
with.
It was basically as effective as the iTrinity, but it
Yeah,
was like $100 compared to 50,000.
yeah.
So pretty handy piece of equipment.
Oh, for sure. Like um I have the DJI Ronin SC, and if I could get a Steadicam, like no problem. They just like run around the place.
Jeez, it'd be great. The smoothest, most buttery footage you'd ever see.
Oh yeah,
B-roll would be so easy to make.
yeah.
You've done videos on B-roll before, haven't you?
Yeah, I did one a while back. I
It's a super important part.
Yeah, it's pretty integral if it helps move the story along. Sometimes I have seen it before where it may not be necessary.
Yeah.
But like I feel B-roll is such a big part of video these days. Well, it always has been really. It's setting the
Yeah.
scene, helping the story along, and all that. I definitely need to get better at it myself.
No, you're really good at it. I've seen some of yours. It's very impressive. You've be up there with the top dogs. No, you're brilliant. That's
it
one thing
takes
I
a
love
long
about your
time.
videos. Like the quality is so insanely good. One thing that breaks my heart is like you're not getting the views you deserve.
Well, I mean, I don't want to do it for the views. The whole attention thing for me is like, if I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. Like, it's not gonna demotivate me to make more videos.
But
I feel
you're
that is,
doing this to teach people, but like if people don't see it, they're not getting taught. So
yeah, no, that is definitely something that, I would love for more people to see it, but I feel if a lot of people aren't seeing my videos, from the perspective of me making them,
mm,
it's not going to stop me from making them. I feel that eventually it may start picking up, and I would love it to. But I make the videos because I want to make them rather than trying to get big on YouTube or, for this whole clout thing.
no, I respect that completely.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's where the whole passion that I was talking about earlier comes from. You really want to do it. Like, I don't get paid to make videos. I don't get sponsorships or anything. But,
we don't either.
well, there you go. So for you guys, you're doing it because you're passionate about it and you love doing it, and it shows in all your videos.
Yeah, it's just kind of a thing of we want to talk to different people who have different perspectives, so we're not stuck in like a bubble.
Yeah.
So yeah, it also helps with confidence. Like if you can just message someone and then talk to them for an hour or something, you
Yeah.
know, and hear their story and so on, just great for your confidence. Like we talk to people that we've seen in movies and thought like, geez, these lads are like top dogs, and then
Yeah.
just they're so funny to tell normal stories.
Exactly. Like, a lot of people, I feel kind of forget that people who are on the big screen are also people themselves. They
Yeah.
have these candid moments, and like they do make them whole mistakes. They have these crazy stories from their childhood or whatever, but
Yeah.
they're having that humanity in them as well, and being able to show that to people, I think, is a huge thing as well.
Like Charles Baker from Breaking Bad
Mm.
plays Skinny Pete. He was on with us and he was talking about living with uh what was it, lads? Living with low self confidence and
Yeah.
like to an extreme. Like when he was a kid, he's told he'd be nothing. Like people close to him, and it still affects him today. When he talked about that, like I thought it was amazing because so many people could listen to that and relate to it,
Yeah.
and it was just you wouldn't think of it like someone who's been in big movies. You think they'd have everything handed to them and it'd be so perfect, but
Mm.
it's not that way for most people really.
Yeah, like if you even take the relationship between, let's say, The Rock and Kevin Hart, they're so huge
Those
now,
guys are
but they're so humble as well. Like, the whole coming up part of it, like coming from a small one bedroom, 2 bedroom apartment or so on the Rock side. Growing up was not easy for him, and like it's so great to see that he kept that humble part of him and knowing where he came from, and you know that's how people can relate a lot to him, and that's why I feel it's also contributed to his successes. Not only is he an amazing actor, you know, businessman, all these things, but he's also human in a way. You know, you feel he could understand a lot of the struggles that you may be going through yourself.
Yeah. No,
I think
get
he
that.
wrote a book called like was it called $7? Because like that's how he started off. He just had $7 in his wallet. Yeah, check that for me there.
Dwayne, The Life Lesson, Reading the Rocks. Maybe if I should look up like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'm just after reading here. Do you know Vince McMahon's is it the XFL? His like American Football League. The Rock's just after buying that for like 15 million.
Damn.
For 15 million, and you'd say he had started off on $7. Jesus, man, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That's fucking mad.
Well, it might not be a book, so but he definitely talks about that story.
Mm.
Yeah. What a guy to rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you got any like celebrities or whatever that kind of motivate you to do better?
I feel I like to. Let me see. How would I put it? I suppose it's more of an eclectic mix of inspiration from different sources. Like I see somebody who has struggled in the past and how to overcame that. You know, Casey Neistat was a huge part of the whole.
Got his girlfriend pregnant at 16, living in a trailer park, minding the kid. That's amazing. Like, and how he is now, like.
Exactly, like the amount that he has been able to accomplish, given the circumstances he had. Like that just motivates me personally as well, because I'm lucky. I have the apartment. I have my camera. You know, I have so much more. You know, I'm in a position where I can have these things, where there's so many people that don't as well. You know.
Yeah.
So like, taking it back to Casey when he had so little and he was literally living off food stamps and all that. You know, I'm in a better position now than what he was probably at my own age. So I feel that motivates me more, because he's been able to get out of that tricky situation and make incredible work. Whereas I'm sitting here right now and I want to also improve. I need to get better. I want to go out. I want to do it. I want to achieve so much as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, looking back on him being able to achieve that also motivates me to do more.
Yeah, it's impressive stuff. Right, guys, this is amazing, but we actually have to finish up.
Okay, yeah.
So we talked about a variety of stuff, and it's been amazing so far. Are the lads still muted?
Yeah, sorry about that. Now I had a delivery. So.
All right. Yeah, you were saying I was going to arrive.
Yeah.
But guys, it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much for getting on today.
Thank you so much for coming on, Tony.
Thanks so much for having me on, guys.
If people want to follow you and they want to check you out after this, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Connor Jones TV. Also on YouTube for Connor Jones TV.
And you will not be disappointed. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. I'm looking forward to seeing more. So
I look forward to putting up more work.
Keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. I love it.
Great.
You've got our support.
Especially videos where like you explain what's going on, or like tutorial videos. I love them.
Yeah. They're great.
Sorry, could you say that again? I got a message and it kind of cut out there for a second.
I said I love when you do tutorial videos or you're explaining how you did something in your videos.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. I'd love to make more of those as well. Trying to just I need to put more time into organizing the videos and then actually creating them. But I definitely look forward to putting out more of those.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. So, yeah. Take it handy. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you so much.
It
It's
was
our
awesome.
pleasure.
And take it handy.
Take it handy, guys.